There's something about Kenya. It pulsates like the beat of the heart. I arrived there on Friday afternoon and tried to rest a little after a long flight. But my rest was short-lived because the next day I was told I would be going to speak to children on the outskirts of town in the slums. Honestly, I was born in the USA, in Alabama, but I grew up in Detroit. So I wasn't there to brag about who grew up in the best of locations. That probably prepared me for this moment, because I've seen devastation of neighborhoods before. I've seen some pretty bad areas across America, and I've seen some of the most beautiful neighborhoods in Detroit and many other places. But even I wasn't prepared for what I would see. No running water. I doubt if there was any electricity there. And the housing was subpar, to say the least. I thought I had traveled back in time. This trip through the slums was purposeful. It was meant to give the boys from the boarding school that I was walking with a look at the other side of life. I was there also walking through before heading to the main event. Tried my best to keep a straight face, but walking through there, I was mostly angry at the living conditions of the people there. But I understood that people live with the best that they have. Everywhere you go, you have poor conditions. But I've learned that even among the poorest of conditions is the greatest of hope and the greatest of people. I'm a testament that where you start out in life is not always where you will end. After visiting the slums, even I, Mr. Hopeful, could use a pick-me-up. But to my surprise, there were hundreds of children waiting. Not far from the slums was a building where an organization called Youth Concerns meets monthly on a Saturday with these children. It's a place to get good food, forget about your conditions, and know that someone cares. It's also a place where you could have fun. And oh yeah, prepare for the challenges of life. In one way or another, I've been around youth and young people, helping to inspire them and encourage them as I've grown as a man, trying to give back like many have given to me. And you would think that these children would be down and out and depressed. No, not in the least. You could see it, you could hear it, and you could taste that hope springs eternal with them. They had small groups and learned the Bible. They ate, and then they waited for the real action to start. The anticipation and the energy was all through the room. I enjoyed watching them showcase their talents. They certainly could outdance me, but I think with a little practice, I'm sure I could keep up. They recited poetry, and they sung, or they danced. I was mostly impressed all around. Most of these children speak several languages. But all in all, it was amazing watching them give their all. I was billed as the guest speaker that afternoon.
Youth concerns, let's give Jesus a hand. Come on, you can do better than that. I said, let's give Jesus a hand. Yes, God, yes, God. I want you to do me a favor and give Ann and David a hand. Yes, yes. Come on, give Maggie a hand. Yes.
Quite honestly, I wasn't sure what I would say to them. Don't let anyone ever tell you that speaking in front of a few hundred children isn't pressure, because it is. I don't care how many times you've done it, and I've done it a few times. But this time it felt different because I wasn't home. I wasn't in a familiar environment. I was in Kenya. But I remembered something as I panned the room, as I could see and hear the sounds of these sea of children.
Yes, yes. Why did I come just to be with you today?
Alikuja kwa nini kukuwa na wewe?
I came to let you know
Alikuja kukuambia
that even though we are a continent apart,
hata kama tuko continent apart,
that God's love is so strong
upendo ya Mungu ni strong sana.
that God will send somebody
Inaweza ona mtu
all the way from another country
kutoka nchi nyingine
to let you know
kukuja kukuambia
that I love you.
that God loves you.
Oh my God, Hey!
I remembered something very simple and yet very powerful. That these children looked like me when I was a little boy. And that they looked like me because they are me. I told them my story growing up in the projects of Detroit. I told them my story, the struggles, not far removed from theirs, just in a different location. I told them that if I could come all the way from America to see them, that my love for them was real. I told them that love is real and that God loved them. I told them about a man in the Bible who started out badly in life. His mother named him Sorrowful because of the pain it took to conceive him. But I think it was the conditions in which he was born that also caused so much sorrow, like many of the children I was looking at that day. And this man's name in the Bible was called Jabez. And in spite of his conditions, he was a good man. He stood out in character among his peers. And one day he decided to do something that would forever change his trajectory in life. He said a simple prayer. That prayer was to ask God to bless him, to keep him from evil, and to enlarge his territory. He had poor conditions, but a big mind. And that's what I told them. Your mind doesn't have to be poor because of your conditions, nor do you have to have poor character. You can change your trajectory in life by belief in yourself. You can change your outlook on life with a little prayer to a real big God. And we are told that God said yes to Jabez's prayer, yes to his request. I told those children that when I was their age, I too said yes to God, and he said yes to me. I blessed those children that day through the power of one voice and the power of faith in them. And that day, that day, their presence, the look in their eyes, and their will not to quit, it blessed me too.